Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fallout Dugout, episode 9. Let's get into it, y'all, because Ruh-Roh.
You're happy.
I don't know what you're talking about. Everything's fine.
You're happy.
We're good.
Oh.
It's fine.
You've been waiting for this, haven't you?
Oh, I think, because I earlier was like, okay, he's not too far away. Like, he's definitely tracking them. But with the complication, I was just like, okay, he's there. They're, and it's also super mutants. It's a perfect spot to collect some, you know?
Oh.
See, I had messaged Kylie during the break. Hey, or like right before we had started recording the second half. Hey, how far away would he be from us? And Kylie said, about 2 hours. And then I realized I should have
thought in her head.
I should have. Well, here's my thing. I should have asked how he was coming to us because I realized, and that's when I had that moment in episode where I went, "Oh, I should have asked," and then never specified. I should have asked if he was walking or if he had like a wagon or something, like when they got me earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
My bad.
No, you know what? It's on both of us for our nat 20s
And on
together.
Vermin. It's also Vermin.
good job,
It's
guys.
also on
Good
Vermin.
job.
Vermin. It's Vermin's fault.
Yeah, it is Vermin's fault. Yeah, 19 and a 20 is what he
That was
rolled.
crazy.
Damn.
Yeah.
I don't even remember how this session started. What happened?
Conversation.
Reed and Phil.
Yeah.
That conversation.
Yeah.
That one was
Wow.
tough.
Yeah, well, I'm curious where Phil's head is at regarding
Mhm.
the
Yes.
synth stuff.
Well, man. Well, so it was a huge thing that I kept just constantly thinking about going into this episode was how is Phil going to react to this
The
information?
news.
How is Phil going
Right.
to react to one of his closest friends being a synth, especially since he's so close with Vault-Tec? Does that influence his thinking? And I think Phil, at the end of the day, going into it, like just my initial reactions was Phil doesn't necessarily really care that Reed is a synth. I think that Phil in his head thinks, for all I know, this could have been the Reed that I've always known.
Yeah.
And even if he's not, this is someone I've already spent a large amount of time with. I like this person. I don't care if the memories they have in their head are necessarily false. I know that at least outside of the vault, I've shared a lot of experiences with this person. And they still resemble, I don't know, they have all the qualities of my best friend. So even if they aren't necessarily that exact person, they're like, it's kind of like their twin brother. It's like Reed's brother that I'm interacting with. So even like Reed doesn't even, or Phil doesn't necessarily see them as a copy per se. He almost just sees this as, this is a brother I didn't know Reed had, who is very much like Reed. Yeah, I think Phil is very open about, he's trying to be open about the idea of synths and doesn't necessarily I think being exposed to Ethan a lot has really influenced that like decision making in his head of being like, okay, just because he's robotic in nature doesn't mean he's not a person, just like Ethan, this is still an individual. This is a person. Just because they don't have flesh doesn't make them any less a person. Being a person is more than being flesh, or just flesh. This is like he might be a synth, but I think he has a soul. And I think Ethan has a soul. So I think that's kind of where Phil comes from.
I think Phil said like all the things that Reed wanted to hear, but can't believe himself.
Yet.
Because I think Reed at this point is just seeing himself as some shitty copy somebody made of somebody else. And but the fact that Phil didn't judge him and was like, hey, you're still somebody, you're still my friend, like that meant the world to Reed. So, or this Reed at least.
Stop. No.
Reed too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a really good conversation.
It was
I'm
such a
remembering
good
all of it now.
Richard and
Mhm.
oh my god, scenes with you.
Mhm.
Are
Yeah, I
amazing.
Yeah.
love that whole thing with us.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
When Phil gets to be serious, it slaps every time.
Yeah. Damn.
Oh hey, hold on. We might have broken through by the way at the end. Hey, if they're bad and you
Ooh.
can give me evidence, I'll take them down.
Yeah, I think
Oh yeah.
Phil's trying to hear his friend out about this whole Vault-Tech's bad, and I think Phil in his head is still very much like, I don't see the evidence for it. I don't want to see the evidence for it. This is like everything I've built my life on. To just say that my whole life is a lie, then like, what the fuck have I been doing this whole time?
Right.
So I think he's very much like, I think there's core values that I follow, and if you can prove to me that, like, without a reason, without like that, it's not just a couple incidents, or if it's like mostly incidents, but Vault-Tech at its heart. If you can prove to me that Vault-Tech at its core and heart is evil, any sort of 100% evidence, like without a doubt, then I'll burn them to the ground, because that's not what I think Vault-Tech should be. And if that's what they are, I'll burn them to the ground and I'll create what I think Vault-Tech should be by myself.
Holy shit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, instead of being like, oh, I should forsake all of Vault-Tech, it's more like I need to burn the rot from the inside out. Like, if it's all rotten to the core, then I'm going to burn it all down and restart.
Yeah.
Damn.
So in a way, it's still Vault-Tech isn't doing anything wrong. The people running Vault-Tech are the ones who are wrong.
Yeah, it's
Vault-Tech
still, I think
itself.
Phil has this idea of what Vault-Tech should be.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like the lie they tell them, and he very much believes that lie.
Yeah.
And so even though if it's a lie, he's like, this is what it is. And so if you guys are actually evil, then I'm just going to make the lie like reality.
Reality.
Because
Right.
This is what it should be.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very much more focused on like restarting Vault-Tech. That's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Be the change you wish to see in the vault.
Yeah. I don't think Phil will ever fully give up Vault-Tech. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's just so ingrained into him. That if it were just all evil, he's like, well, I'm starting my own brand. I'm starting my own fast food place over here.
Tiny guys in the new
Yeah.
Vault-Tech.
The guys in the new Vault-Tech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Well, the doctor's dead.
Yeah, I shot her.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
I feel
did.
good about it.
It's like the first major villain now is like
Yeah.
gone.
Oh.
my wife.
I was a little sad, but
Just
I'm not-
boom, shot. In the
no,
head.
I think
Yeah.
no, you did the right thing. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. But
I
Yeah.
mean,
would've
who knows
missed
where she
her.
was running to, you know?
And the
Yeah.
only person we know who knows everything about how to help Reed if anything were to happen.
Fine. Totally. Well, that we know of. There
That
could
we know
be
of.
That
other
we know,
individuals.
exactly, that
Yeah.
we know, that we know.
We have Ruthie
Yeah.
has the note that she thinks is
Mhm.
garbage, but we do
garbage
have a
list.
note. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And Hawke understands, for the most part, what the parts are. How they all go together with
Mhm.
Reed is a different question, but I know what the parts are and what they do for me, so.
And you know what's funny is that Reed having that list would be so beneficial because he knows machines and stuff, but he doesn't even know that a list exists.
Yep.
That's
Nope.
right.
Well,
That's right.
Fun.
I think it was Richard pointed this out earlier. Everybody but Ruthie knows.
Yep.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yep.
And the one
well,
person who shouldn't have the list is Ruthie.
Yep.
So that's gonna
I-
be interesting.
yeah.
Mhm.
I had a moment of like, do I fill you in when we were still up on the surface before we reconvened with everyone? I'm like, do I, as a character, tell Reed's secret?
Mm.
Mm.
And
Mhm.
Hawke couldn't do it. It was a decision I made. I was like, Hawke can't even come to terms with themselves being a robot. So why on earth would they out Reed, basically?
Mm.
Like, it's not his secret to tell. So he's not going to say anything to Ruthie. If Ruthie learns, in his opinion, it needs to come from Reed. So we'll see if it ever does. Jake.
We will see. We shall see.
We shall learn.
Oh. God. Yeah, that. Also, loved the little moment with Ruthie, with Valerie, and just like
Fantastic.
making her see she has worth, that she is, you know, she is enough. Like it was like one of those moments where it's just like you're like, yeah, I am enough. Like I'm compatible. I just haven't met the right person yet, and maybe coming on a little strong, you know, with Phil, but
I think it's perfect.
she's you know, she's just, I think maybe it's the first time where she like, yeah, doesn't have that self-doubt, you know.
Yeah, I think because I had been thinking a lot about it because I wasn't sure if Hawke was gonna go like immediately after Dr. Black or what, but like I know thinking about today's session, I was like, currently there is a woman sobbing on the ground with vermin like hovering over her, nearby her, and you know, Ruthie had just kind of insulted this person. And so it was when she started having allergies to Sputnik and she was like, oh, that sucks. I guess you have to leave now. And so it was partially like a Ruthie's way of apologizing for being rude because, you know, after she was rude, her companions basically destroyed this woman's entire world. But then also kind of like she saw a little bit of herself in Valerie in that moment there. And like having been essentially discarded by the only family that she had left, you know, it was a lesson that she herself had to learn, which is nobody can tell you who you are. The only person who can is you. And I think in that moment, Ruthie probably gave Valerie what she wished she had in her own mirror, like similar moment. And that is companionship and somebody to carry her, because Ruthie didn't really get that until she was found by Sputnik and then was found by her missing companion. So yeah, I think she saw a lot of herself in Valerie, and I think it was one of those moments where she was like, I have the chance to prevent someone from being like me, so I'm gonna take it.
Yeah.
Following that up with Phil going, actually, I'm into MILFs or like DILFs.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
into MILFs and DILFs.
Hysterical.
Oh my
Yeah, can we talk about the fucking comedy that Phil has wanted a partner this entire time, and then literally the perfect partner for Phil shows up and he's like, nah.
I think
Not into it.
my favorite part is that Phil really wants kids, but his type is somebody who already has kids.
Yeah. Right.
Is there a reasoning behind it, or is it just like?
I think Phil's holding out. You know, I think he really wants to rush, obviously, to starting this thing. But he's like, if I'm gonna be with someone, I want to be with someone that I really like. And I think he's just maybe a little bit more upfront. He's like, hey, let's see. You know, I know what I want. And this isn't it. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Interesting.
You know what he wants?
I feel like there's a little bit more, but it stays between me and Kylie.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. Yeah.
It could be you, Kylie, and the group chat DMs.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
They don't have to know. These people don't have to know.
These people don't have to know. But what if they want to know?
Yeah. There's actually stuff I need to talk to Icarus and Dakota about for stuff we've been messaging about at some point.
Aw.
So
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
so
That would actually be good to know before the start of next session.
yes, exactly. So
Wait, what are you
point.
guys messaging about? Hold
Don't worry
on.
about it. Nothing.
Wait a second.
My DMs are quiet.
Yeah.
I'm not talking to nobody.
You got baseball
But yeah.
players in your DMs too, or?
I've been playing Dragon Age. I'm not talking to nobody.
Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, I thought that was such a cool little moment. Yeah, and I think too, like, even something I wanted to touch back on tonight, because it was an interesting moment, was kind of the stuff with like the babies and knowing that like they're, I guess, I want to kind of maybe we didn't see it on the outside. Obviously, Hawke wanted to get out of there, but I guess I'm curious, just like kind of walk us through kind of that, what was going on in your mind in that moment, because I thought that was really interesting.
We've just dealt with a vault that clearly had an experiment. Like Hawke saw the evidence with Reed. This was an experimental vault. This was they were searching for certain outcomes. They were controlling the environment, and I mean, he has known that his vault didn't have kids besides Charlotte, but he took that as like, oh well, it's like a miracle, right? The first baby born in how many years is my kid. And seeing that this vault had a baby changing station, and Ruthie, who doesn't know anything about like, you know, stuff that doesn't pertain to her, knew what that was and knew what it was used for, which means it was a widespread, but his vault didn't. And there were no kids. So he's, I think, starting to think maybe that's the experiment. If his vault was also experimental, it had to do with kids, the lack of them. And I think he's just starting to be like, okay, why? What was the goal? If the experiment was having to do with children or the vault's lack of them, what were they trying to figure out? We saw one vault deal with grief. This one's dealing with compatibility. What's Charlie in the middle of? And that's why he needed to get out of there, because that's a lot that hit all at once.
No, all the dwellers just took a vow of celibacy. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
Chill.
Totally normal.
Totally
It's
normal.
Not getting crazy down here in the vault.
But yeah, Hawke in some ways is similar to Phil when it comes to vault tech, but it's more like I didn't care, really. Like, vault tech could be evil, vault tech could be telling the truth, but I'm focused on my kid. I don't really care what vault tech, you know, is doing behind the scenes. And now that's starting to get chipped away at the further we're finding these vaults and the stuff going on in them, like, okay, so now there's something going on. And if they hurt my kid in the same vein, I'm gonna burn vault tech down if they put my kid in the middle of something. So that's kind of where their head's at, or the direction that they're starting to go in.
Hell yeah. Ooh, that's good. That's good. Oh. Any other little moments people want to bring up tonight as we kind of unwind a little bit? I know that was pretty heavy throughout, but
Vermin. That's the whole thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vermin going feral was hysterical to me.
I'll fucking kill you.
Oh,
He
God,
owes
behind
at
your
least
dreams.
like 5 caps in the swear jar.
He does. So does
Now-
Phil.
Yeah, Phil owes 2.
What?
Phil owes 2.
3.
I don't
3.
know about that.
3. Remember?
Reed, you gotta snitch. You gotta snitch.
I don't know about that, dude. I don't.
We'll see.
It's crazy.
I think it would make Ruthie feel better. I think it would make her feel better, given her like.
To hear Phil say fuck.
Well, Phil's
Yes,
keeping my
actually.
secret at the moment.
Okay, that's valid. But
Yeah.
consider Ruthie hurt her leg. I feel like if Phil just like let out a nice guttural fuck, she would feel 10 times better.
I agree.
Yeah. It's the
I agree.
equivalent of a stim pack, I guess.
Yeah. Well, at least like emotionally,
me.
she would feel better. Like,
Yep.
oh, my brother's here. I don't care because Phil just said fuck. Like, that's
yeah,
way
pause
better.
really fast.
Hold
Phil,
on,
say it
hold on
again.
1 second, Harmon. You don't get this. You said huh? You know.
Yeah.
So is Vermin an Autobot or a Decepticon? Because the way that he just went Transformer mode and turned into a stealth creature, it was insane.
You know what? I'm getting Decepticon turned Autobot vibes from him.
It's like an Animorph from
like
one
a
of those
Jetfire
like.
situation.
Yeah.
Well, he just has
He
like
has
he has
the
a big
Allspark.
he just has a big backpack with all his shit in it. He's like a hermit crab, you know, just like carrying his house with
A vermin crab.
a vermin
love
crab.
him.
It's a vermin crab.
Exactly.
Yeah. I just yeah. He's
I did have one more thing. Hawke is jealous of Valerie.
Yeah.
Hawke
Yeah.
does not like her, and
No.
I don't even
What are you
think they know
jealous of?
why.
Yeah,
I
we
don't think they
know.
know why. They don't trust
Interesting.
her because she's from this vault, and I don't think they like that she looks at Phil like that.
Interesting.
I think it bothers them, and they don't know why.
Like they don't know if it's like a friendly way, like a platonic way, or like a familial way.
I don't know. Yeah, they have no idea. They're just like, I don't like her. I don't like her.
I am excited to see that play out. Actually, I want to see more of that. I want to see more.
She's
don't
actually
worry.
a synth, but they flipped the female switch on Phil's synth. So,
We're all synths. That's
It's
the
like,
that's the trick.
oh shit, we accidentally.
Yeah.
Fuck. Put her in the other vault.
Honestly?
It's fine.
I'm scared about the idea that there are synths of all of us.
Hey.
That is
Hey.
a scary idea.
Maybe you're a synth and you have no idea. You don't know.
Well,
I mean,
Stimpaks
if
work on
Reed
me,
had
so.
one,
Yeah, well, yeah.
if Reed had one, it's entirely possible that Phil maybe has an active one. Like if something
This is
had
true.
happened to Phil, they had a backup, and then nothing happened to Phil, so they didn't use it. So it was just like hanging in a warehouse somewhere.
Try a Stimpak on your brother. We'll see what's up.
Don't say. Oh, Nar. I'm pretty. I'm.
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, no.
It just slipped
Oh
out.
no!
I'm like 85% sure he's human. Like
85. That's low.
You haven't
It's
seen him in a
been-
long time.
Well, it's been like what, like 9 months, 10 months, Kylie. It's
Yeah, it's been.
Guys.
I would say maybe closer to like a year, perhaps.
yeah.
Maybe
so-
9. Yeah. 9, 10
I'm
months.
sorry to
year.
interrupt the conversation for something so tiny, but I was just playing with 3 dice in my hand, and I was just like fully shuffling them around. Put them all down. They're all on the number 16, and I don't know how that happened.
Oh.
But it's weird. But it's
We're
weird.
gonna die.
I'm
next
scared.
session.
Something
That's
weird.
Mom, come
My
pick me up. I'm
dice-
scared.
It's gonna suck.
Oh.
That feels so stupid and tiny, but that's weird, and I
It
don't
feels-
like it. And I'm
that's
staring at
weird.
him now.
And I'm
Ominous.
scared now.
I will say, I stand by that decision to drop that cage. I still think it was a great idea.
good idea. It was a
That
great
was a
idea.
great
'cause
idea.
I didn't have a
Mhm.
plan.
Mhm.
From the heart, I did not have a plan besides the
From the
flamethrower.
when I realized that the cage was hanging over the ledge, I was like, okay, I can maybe do something with this. And I didn't think that I would get that far when Kylie
The
said
exit plan wasn't
athletics.
formed.
So I was like, and then Kylie was like, yeah, and they're coming up to where you are. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense. That the cage would fall, so they would naturally come up to where the
They
cage
come
was.
investigate.
That makes sense.
We have another 71 or 2. That's.
Ugh.
Yeah, and he has
Oh.
something to
he
say.
has something to
collected-
say.
2 more today. We collected
We are
2
forming
more.
the baseball team.
We need 1 more, and then there will be 1 NPC per player character.
You're collecting them like Pokemon.
Like,
I think we
Pokemon.
should collect Harmon. I think that's a
Oh,
great
do
idea.
you?
What
No.
if we kidnap your brother? We bring him-
Mm.
I will say
Forced
this here
family
and
bonding.
now. Forced family therapy. I will say this here and now. So that way it does not come as a surprise, although this probably shouldn't be a surprise. Ruthie will not let any of you kill him.
Baller, because
I
my
did
gun
make
is
a
out
promise.
and pointed
I did
at
make a
him.
promise
You
to
also-
you.
Yeah, Ruthie made Phil promise that if and when they find her brother, that he needs to protect Reed.
Yeah.
Mm.
And there was no indication as to why.
He's gonna see Reed holding you.
Yeah,
And he's
no,
gonna know.
I've been thinking about that for a while now.
My gun is
and for
pointed
a
at
while,
him.
as in like the last 20 minutes. But yeah, that'll Oh, y'all are probably about to get like the Ruthie lore drop of your dreams.
I can't wait. Give me some
Yeah, I can't
flashbacks
wait
next
to.
episode.
Did
There's a whole first hour just Ruthie flashback.
Yeah.
I don't think you want. I mean, I think you want that flashback, but I also don't think you want that flashback. It's gruesome. It's a lot.
Hell yeah, this is Fallout. Let's go.
Let's go.
Listen, I'm down. I'm here for it. I don't got work on Monday. Next Monday I could do it. But it's Ruthie and the no bad, very awful, horrible day.
Mm-hmm. This has been a long day. Like, because
It's been such a long day.
this
for us.
day
It's
is-
been a long day.
this day has been 3 sessions, I think.
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh
Yeah.
my god. Let us sleep, Kylie.
That's
Because
insane.
like we left like right at dawn, and then we had
Yep.
that interesting interaction with Shonda, which I totally
that
repressed.
was today?
My God,
Yes.
that was today?
Yes, so in the span of a day,
Phil
Reed-
going, I am a catch was today?
Yeah.
That
So,
was today?
in the
That was
span of a
today.
day,
ass clappings.
Phil has said that he is a catch and he is surprised that not more people think he's attractive. Meanwhile, Reed has kind of made the ultimate move on Ruthie in putting his hand on her back, only for then there to be a bunch of tension between them because of the information that Reed found out about himself. And now Phil has a woman literally flirting with him and he's like, nah. So it's that all happened in the span of one day. We
that
really
was today?
That was today?
yeah. Yeah.
I thought you guys might stay at the vault and sleep there for the night. That was literally, I had a plan for that, and you all wanted to. Yeah.
No.
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 I don't trust
exact-
the vault.
No,
We saw
no,
the
that's
baby
which is
changing
fine.
station and the baby and went. Which,
Mm-mm.
by the way, for those of you paying attention, that baby was named after a baseball player.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Yep.
means we had to get extra out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It
That
was.
baby
It was.
was named after Freddie Freeman, the MVP for the World Series.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's kind of like my way of. Well, I don't want to say anything.
No,
I mean,
go
you probably
ahead.
already
No,
figured
go
it,
ahead.
but
Do it.
yeah,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
it's
Go
Say
ahead.
it.
it's. Yeah, I'm gonna hold on. Yeah,
No,
don't worry.
no. You said it in the Discord.
Okay.
Nah.
They don't have to know.
Nah.
We get to know. Or just to me.
maybe.
I
Uh,
like being nosy.
No, it's all good. It's fine. I don't get to tell all this stuff. It's like you're the keeper of secrets, and it's just like, oh, I just want to tell people. Thank
Yeah.
goodness
No.
I can talk to Cassandra about it. But yeah, I'm like, I know this means nothing to you, but I just need to tell somebody. So,
Yeah.
Me with my
um,
grandparents, it all
Ugh.
goes right over their head, but
Yeah. Oh gosh.
My
but,
fiance doesn't want any spoilers. She is where the audience is. She has no
Oh.
idea of anything else after that.
your poor fiance.
yeah, I try to. Yeah, I mean, Cassandra does watch it every week, so like I don't tell her everything, but I'll be like, oh, this like crazy thing happened tonight. I'm like, oh, I can't wait for people to see it. But
Uh-huh.
that's really, but yeah, awesome. Well, y'all, I think next episode, we're still on this roller coaster ride that
Yes, we
started
are.
episode 4. So goodness gracious, it is
Man.
yeah, episode 10 next week. Like that's pretty crazy.
We're in the double digits now.
Mhm.
Double digits. That's
yeah,
wild
yeah.
stuff.
Nuts.
So
Insane.
but yeah, we'll leave it there for the night for this episode of Fallout Dugout. Take it easy out there, drink the water, eat the food, take care of
Yeah.
yourselves, and we'll see you next time back
Yeah.
out in the wastelands. So
It's crazy
y'all.
that me and
Bye,
Phil came out of the
loves.
vault this morning, and here we are.
yeah,
Crazy.
this morning, basically 3 days later.
It's all been one day.
It's just the
One
longest day ever.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lord.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.